Will you get me a taxi, Freddie? Do you want me to die of pneumonia?
I'm sorry, Mother. I'll get a taxi right away. Sorry.
He's your son, is he? Well, if you'd done your duty by him as a mother should, you wouldn't have let him spoil a poor girl's flowers and run away without paying.
Go about your business, my girl.
2 bunches of violets trodden on mud.
Taxi! Taxi!
Oh, see, Captain, buy a flower for poor girl.
I'm sorry, I haven't any change.
Oh, I can change half a crown. Here, take this for tuppence.
Wait, stop. Here's 3 halfpence, if that's any use to you.
Thank you, sir.
Here, you be careful. Better give him a flower for her. There's a bloke standing behind the pillar taking down every blessed word you're saying.
I ain't done nothing wrong by speaking to the gentleman. I have a right to sell flowers here if I keep off the curb. I'm a respectable girl. I never spoke to him except to ask him to buy a flower off me. What's the row?
What's on the blooming noise?
There's a taking her down.
Oh, sir, don't let him charge me. You don't know what it means to me. They'll take away me character, drive me on the streets for speaking to gentlemen.
Oh, there. Who's hurting you, you silly girl? What do you take me for?
On my Bible oath, I never said a word.
Shut up. Do I look like a policeman?
Then what'd you take down me words for? How do I know you took me down right? You show me what you wrote about me. Hey, what's that? Can't read it, ain't proper writing.
I can. I say, Captain, buy a flower for poor girl.
It's 'cause I called him Captain. Oh, I meant no harm. Oh, sir, don't let him lay a charge against me for a word like that.
Charge? I make no charge. Really, sir, if you are a detective, you need not begin protecting me against molestation by young women until I ask you to. Anybody could see the girl meant no harm.
He ain't a tack, he's a gentleman. Look at his boots.
And how are all your people down at Chelsea?
Who told you my people come from Chelsea?
Never mind, they do. How do you come to be up so far east? You were born in, Listen Grove.
Oh, what harm is there in my leaving Listen Grove? What a fit for a pig to live in.
Live where you like, but stop that noise.
Come, he can't touch you. You can live where you please.
I'm a good girl, I am.
Do you know where I come from?
Hoxton.
Who says I don't? Right, he knows everything, doesn't he?
Well, tell him where he comes from if you want to go fortune telling.
Cheltenham, Harrow, Cambridge, and India.
Quite right.
Blimey, he ain't a tack, he's a bloomin' busybody, that's what he is.
If I may ask you, sir, do you do this sort of thing for a living in the music hall?
I have thought of that. Perhaps I will someday.
He ain't a gentleman, he ain't
How do you
interfering with a
do it, if I may
girl.
ask?
Simple phonetics, the science of speech. You see, that's my profession, also my hobby. Anyone can spot an Irishman or a Yorkshireman by his brogue. I can place a man within 6 miles. I can place him within 2 miles in London, sometimes within 2 streets.
Ought to be ashamed of himself, unmanly coward.
Yes, quite a
Let
fat
him mind
one.
his own business and leave a poor
Woman! Cease this detestable boo-hooing, or else seek the shelter of some other place of worship.
I've a right to be here if I like, same as you.
A woman who utters such depressing and disgusting noises has no right to be anywhere, no right to live. Remember that you're a human being with a soul and the divine gift of articulate speech. That your native language is the language of Shakespeare and Milton and the Bible. And don't sit there crooning like a bilious pigeon.
Ow!
Look at her, a prisoner of the gutters. Condemned by every syllable she utters. By right, she should be taken out and hung for the cold-blooded murder of the English tongue. Wow! Heavens, what a noise. This is what the British population calls an elementary education.
Come, sir, I think you picked a poor example.
Have I? Why can't the English teach their children how to speak? This verbal class distinction by now should be antique. If you spoke as she does, sir, instead of the way you do, why, you might be selling flowers too.
I beg your pardon, sir.
An Englishman's way of speaking absolutely classifies him. The moment he talks, he makes some other Englishmen despise him. One common language, I'm afraid we'll never get. Why can't the English learn to set a good example to people who whose English is painful to your ears. Well, the Scotch and the Irish leave you close to tears. There even are places where English completely disappears. In America, they haven't used it for years. Why can't the English teach their children how to speak? Norwegians learn Norwegian. The Greeks are taught their Greek. In France, every Frenchman knows his language from A to Z. French never care what they do, actually, as long as they pronounce it properly. Arabians learn Arabian with the speed of summer lightning. The Hebrews learn it backwards, which is absolutely frightening. But use proper English or regarded as a freak. And why can't the English? Why can't the English learn to speak? You see this creature with her curbstone English, the English that will keep her in the gutter to the end of her days. Well, sir, in 6 months I could pass her off as a duchess in an embassy ball. I could even get her a place as a lady's maid or a shop assistant, which requires better English.
What's that you say?
Yes, you squashed cabbage leaf. You disgrace to the noble architecture of these columns. You incarnate insult to the English language. I could pass you off as the Queen of Sheba.
Taxi! Taxi!
You don't believe that, Captain?
Well, I suppose anything is possible. Myself am a student of Indian dialects.
Are you? Do you know Colonel Pickering, the author of Spoken Sanskrit?
I am Colonel Pickering. Who are you?
Henry Higgins, author of Higgins' Universal Dialect.
I came from India to meet you.
I was going to India to meet you.
Higgins.
Pickering. Where are you staying?
At the Cart.
Oh, no, you're not. You're staying at 27A Wimpole Street. Now come with me, we'll have a jaw over supper.
Right you are.
Buy a flower, kind sir. I'm shot for me lodging.
Liar. You said you could change half a crown.
You wanna be stuffed with nails, you ought? Here, take a blooming basket for 6pence.
Ah. The church. Reminder. Indian dialects have always fascinated me. I have records of over 50.
Have you now? Do you realize there were over 200?
By George, it's worse than London. You know them all.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, I do.
Shouldn't we stand up, gentlemen? We've got a blooming hearse in our midst. You need a good butler, Eliza.
You won't do.
It's rather dull in town, I think I'll take me to Paddy.
Our missus wants to open up the castle in Capri.
Me doctor recommends a quiet summer by the sea. Wouldn't it be lovely?
We're off to the spring, Eliza, Paris.
All I want is a room somewhere far away from the cold night air, with one enormous chair. Wouldn't it be lovely? Lots of chocolate for me to eat, lots of coal making lots of heat, warm face, warm hands, warm feet. Wouldn't it be lovely? Oh, so lovely sitting at the bloomin' Doolittle still. I would never budge till spring crept over me windowsill. Someone did resting on my knee.
Right, you go too, Doolittle. I ain't running no charity bazaar here. Drinks is to be paid for or not drunk at all. Now hop on it, hop on it.
Thanks for the hospitality, George. Send the bill to Buckingham Palace.
Well, Alfie, I guess it's home we go.
Home? What do you want to go home for? Eliza should be along in a few minutes. She ought to be good for half a crown for her father. What loves her?
Loves her? That's a laugh. You ain't been near her for months.
Well, what's that got to do with it? What's half a crown after all I give her?
When have you ever given her anything?
Anything? Why, I give her everything. I give her the greatest gift any human being can give to another. Life! I introduced her to this here planet, I did, with all its wonders and marvels. This lovely world, with the sun that shines and the moon that glows. I park to walk through on a fine spring night. The whole ruddy city of London that roam about in selling the blooming flowers. I give her all that, and then I disappears and leaves her on her own to enjoy it. Now, if that ain't worth half a crown now and again, I'll take my belt off and give her what for.
You got a good heart, Alfie. But if you want that half a crown from Eliza, you better have a good story to go with it.
Eliza! What a surprise!
Not 1 shilling.
Oh, come on, Eliza, have a heart now. Don't send me home to your stepmother without a bit of liquid protection now.
Stepmother? Stepmother indeed.
Well, I'm willing to marry her. As Rita suffers by Eliza, I'm a slave to that woman, Eliza. All because I ain't a lawful husband. Come on, slip your old dad half a crown. Then go home on, huh?
Well, I had a bit of luck myself tonight, so here.
George! 3 glorious beers! Thank you, my dear.
Don't you come around expecting half crowns from me.
You're a noble daughter, Eliza. You see, boys, I told you not to go home. It's just faith, hope, and a little bit of luck. The Lord above gave man an arm of iron, so he could do his job and never shirk. The Lord above gave man an arm of iron, but with a little bit of luck, someone else will do the blazing work. Made liquor for temptation to see if man could turn away from sin. The Lord above made liquor for temptation, but with a little bit of luck, when temptation comes right in. With a little bit of luck, you'll get right in. Oh, you can walk the straight and narrow. But with a little bit of luck, you'll run amok. The general sex was made for man to marry, to share his nest and see his food is cooked. The general sex was made for man to marry, but with a little bit of luck, you can have it all and more.